Here we have young vines that were planted last spring. We're going to be trimming these vines, putting them down onto the wire. We have a variation in growth, however. This vine hasn't enough cane to put down to the wire, so we will be head tying it. And this young vine here is hardly grown at all, so we'll be cutting it back to 2 buds and then letting it grow another season. This vine has quite a bit of growth and lignified wood up to this point here, and we also have more than pencil thickness at the fruiting wire, so we have sufficient to tie down onto the wire one single cane. Now we have to decide where to cut. We have lignified wood up to here, we have a fruiting wire here, and the rule is we cut halfway between the lignified wood and the fruiting wire. So our cut will be made here. We'll be making the cut 10 mils above the bud, like that. We're going to trim all these tendrils off. We're going to start with a little bit of dead wood above the graft union. All these tendrils, we want to trim these off because they'll strangle the vine later on if we don't. Now we're going to straighten the trunk up. We're going to lay the cane down onto the wire. We want a bit of tension on the wire. Again, we want to have this trunk grow nice and straight. We want a nice straight cane, perpendicular. Bit of pressure on the wire, so when the wire comes up, it'll keep the trunk nice and straight. And we're wrapping like so. Good tension. Twist tie behind the final bud. Good solid twist. And there's our vine set up for the next season. This vine, we have to make a decision whether we're going to tie this cane down or we're going to head tie it. This vine hasn't grown enough to lay cane down on the wire, and we also have more than pencil thickness, so we're going to cut it back below the wire and head tie it. I'm going to trim these tendrils off. These tendrils, if they're left on the vine during summer, they'll actually strangle the vine, so we want to trim all these off. Working our way up the vine, and then I'm going to cut it here. And we're going to head tie it. So I'm going to put this head tie on here. Now we want it really tight there. And we press down on the wire to get some tension. We want a good straight trunk. That's a good head tie that will keep that vine secure through the season. This is a young vine that hasn't grown much. We'll be cutting it back to 2 buds. We lift up the spray guard. We'll count 1 bud, 2 buds, cut there. We count 1 bud, 2 buds, and cut there. And this dead wood here above the graft union, we'll trim that off to tidy up. Then we'll put this down. Pull this out, tidy up, done.